Hello everyone, this is Robin Hattersley from Campus Safety Magazine. I'm here at the Campus Safety Conference West in Long Beach, California, and I have with me today Sergeant Clayton Cranford. He's a deputy sheriff for the Orange County Sheriff's Department. Clayton, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, you're a specialist in cybersecurity, social media safety for kids, and a lot of times I think parents wonder, what are the most effective consequences parents can give to their kids if they find that their children aren't, behaving safely online?
Right. Well, consequences are really important, in setting those expectations. So a parent needs to sit down with their child and really have a good conversation about what kind of a behavior or activity on the internet is and is not okay. And then there should be an expectation of some kind of consequence if they don't abide by this understanding. But one of the issues that I'm noticing is that when students are in trouble, whether they're a victim of some bullying or some other issue online, they don't feel safe to go into their parents and asking for help. And so what I want to do is I want to help parents kind of bridge that gap with their children. And to do that, I think part of the understanding should be that, hey, if you do run into trouble, whether you're the victim or maybe you made a bad choice, if you come to me as the parent and tell me immediately, I'm going to help you fix the problem, okay? And so we'll kind of set aside the discipline so we can fix the problem, and then after everything's kind of settled down, then you look at, what happened here. Is this something that could have been avoided by, maybe some better content filtering, or maybe you need to be more closely monitoring their social media. Maybe some of the social media or the apps that the children are using need to be kind of pruned back because of, maybe it's just a problematic, social media application that they're using. So I really want parents and students to have a good ongoing conversation, because you can be a very, on top of a parent and just always, monitoring and talking, but ultimately you're going to miss opportunities, and we want students and children to feel safe to come and ask for help. And if we do that in this way, they're going to feel open to do it and not hide it with the fear that they're going to get everything taken away. So consequences are important, and there should be some expectation in following through on those consequences, but there should be an opportunity for grace, so the students will feel safe and talk to their parents about problems they're having.
I'm assuming also too, with consequences, maybe parents should talk to their kids before their kids get in trouble, maybe. And how early do you think parents should start talking to their kids about, the challenges associated with social media?
Well, it seems like we're giving our kids access to technology at a younger and younger age, but definitely going into I think fourth grade, this is a good time to start having this conversation. I have a contract that I provide for free on my website, cybersafetycop.com. Parents can download that and can just kind of read through it with their child as a kind of script. It'll cover all these different bases and issues that perhaps you may not be familiar with, and then it's an opportunity to ask your child or the student, what do you think about this particular issue, and have them kind of give you some feedback on their experiences and so forth. So it's not simple. Technology is always changing, so it does require a certain amount of legwork on the part of parents to stay abreast of what's going on, and then giving out social media, giving out applications in a judicious way, like doing your legwork, doing your research, going online, checking, is this a safe application for my student or my child?
Now, obviously, Campus Safety Magazine is a trade publication, and we go to a lot of K through 12 security practitioners, police officers, police chiefs, other administrators. So how do you recommend they work with parents in, providing consequences for bad behavior on social media? Okay.
Well, so the school is the hub, right? I mean, for most communities, that's where your children are at, and that's where many parents are going to go for help and guidance on various issues. And the school resource officer there, and working with the school, and the parent is really a team that should be addressed, that be used to address some of these issues, because not all the issues that you're going to be seeing are going to be criminal, but there are going to be issues that are going to, get in the way of a student, having the best, educational experience they can have. So, working together, the consequences that that school is meeting out with regards to behavior that is impacting the educational environment is important, but also then parents kind of following through on their end too. So if the student is getting in trouble for some kind of thing that they're doing online and it's impacting the school, then the parent should be following up with some kind of a consequence at home, whether taking away that device or restricting their ability to do those types of things. So there should be a partnership, but at the same time, I think the schools and the law enforcement community that's working with the schools should be bringing these groups together, right? So there should be kind of like a parent education, awareness happening there, giving them the tools and like, hey, if you see your kid having these issues, this is where you report it, this is where you come for help, and then also meeting with the students and having an awareness to the consequences of this type of behavior, I think is really important.
Anything that you see on the campus side that maybe are common practices that shouldn't be done?
Well, I'm not a big fan of zero tolerance. So many schools have kind of a one-size-fits-all policy with regards to some of this stuff. And unfortunately, if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So I really I like to use the approach where we should have a progressive discipline. It should be scaled to kind of meet what would happen, especially when it comes to threats. So a lot of threats get communicated over social media, and a good threat assessment, looking at whether this person was this a kind of a transient threat where there was really no intention of going beyond just words and they were just angry. That student should be handled in a way different than a student who has those threats and then brings a weapon to school or does some other kind of furtherance of that threat. Those two students should be handled differently, but a lot of schools kind of bring them together under the same type of discipline structure, which isn't really fair or effective, unfortunately.
Clayton, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.